Okay, so now it's been a minute since I've done one of these, and by that I mean it's been like a week. Let's maybe zoom this a bit, huh? Maybe I can scoot in a little too, would help. Let's start with this. So, I have some notes that I took to include in this one. The first says, once the clients are served, the rest of the month is free time, good design. Looks like I was very in-depth and informative there. Pretty much what I'm saying is that the way things are set up is so that we can provide services for a full month without taking a full month to provide said services. This needs to come down as the issue. It really only takes us about a week of, it is full-time work, but it only takes us about a week of work per client to provide services, which means the next 3 weeks, as of right now, we can serve more clients. Of course, as we hire more people on, that's gonna be a lot easier. I should also adjust the sudden lighting difference. I decided to set up a camera and a light. I think I'm gonna make like one really good video, and we'll see how it turns out. Maybe it'll get like 3 views, because so far it seems like that's how things have been, but that's okay. Another note that I have is that it's good that I took pictures of a certain company's copywriting. Now, I don't think it's a good idea to say which company it is, but there was a certain company that I took pictures of their advertising, their marketing material, and specifically their copywriting. And I actually use that in not my own ad, because that would be a bad thing to do. And then the last note I have is that this amount of work means staying up late. So I feel like that one's pretty self-explanatory. The amount of work that I'm doing, the things that I am agreeing to take on, means I'm gonna have to stay up late some nights. I guess that was a revelation, I think would be the word, that I came across. So since the last one, these that I recorded, we have met with one of our newer clients for the first time, and it went really well. The recording went really well. She didn't know that we used teleprompters, so that was a great little like, oh, by the way, this is going to be even easier for you than you thought after you've agreed to give us money. So that's cool. Just recently I came across, what's his name? Nolan Molt from Think Media. Just got fired or quit. Started his own business and made like $30K in 3 days, which admittedly stings, but I do remind myself that this guy already has a brand and a name established, even if it's small, because we all know that I have such a huge brand and such a huge name. But the point is, this guy already has something going, so when he already has his brand established, so when he then says that he's going to be selling something, of course it's going to work immediately. He already has proof that he knows what he's doing. Right now, for the most part, we know what we're doing. We don't have proof of that, so fair enough, and we have to overcome that obstacle of telling people that, like, hey, we want to show that we know what we're doing by working with you. Because, to be fair, that's not usually a very smart policy, so I get it. I'm not shooting that idea down. I want to talk a little bit more about this super high-end video that I'm going to make. So I don't know exactly what it's going to look like. I don't know exactly how it's going to be. But I'm realizing that when people make it with big air quotes on YouTube, or push through and they have their one big breakthrough video, it's usually one that's produced really well, and then they might maintain that pace for a little while, but after a while they don't really continue posting at that pace, especially if their main thing isn't YouTube. And frankly, even if their main thing is YouTube, basically, unless they specifically are going at it with the intention of making super high quality, high-end videos, they're probably not going to focus on that for long. They might just use that to get started, make their first breakthrough. So I'm going to give that a shot and essentially see how it works. I think there's a good chance that it will work well. I just am not sure to what extent, so we'll have to see. Let's see, what else do I want to bring up? Scripting. So I looked at the numbers, and right now we can spend a lot more time scripting, which is good because that means that the rest of the creation process is going to be a lot easier, not just for the editors, but also for anybody who's like scheduling posts, or of course the viewer is going to actually have something else that the viewer's going to appreciate the video more because more time was spent on the script, or at least that's the idea. So good news there. Let's see, do I want to talk about money? I think I do, just not with numbers. I think this is important because later on, if things go well, and we're talking about money then, and saying how we have a $1 billion business, then it might be nice to have this video saying that right now it sucks. I'm not going to say the exact numbers. Let's see, can you see? Oh, okay, I might have to like blur that out. But over on the right there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it says like, okay, we owe this amount to this individual. So it's not great right now, but we're pushing through. I definitely think that we have a system to get out of it. I think that this is just the beginning of something really cool. Usually when people say that something is like the beginning of something really cool, they already have something established. So I don't know if this Nolan guy is doing this, but he's posted one video. He says, I lost my job, so I'm starting a business. Now that is true, he is starting a business, but he already kind of has that brand associated with him. So he already has a lot of wiggle room, and it's a lot, I won't say easier, but it's simpler to get started. So it's probably still the same amount of work, but it's he doesn't need to worry as much about the brand. He just needs to worry about putting the work in, which is good. And right now we don't even really have a brand. So I mean, that was a big reason that we separated myself from my company, is so that they aren't intertwined. Because if 100 million people decided to give us $1,000 each tomorrow, that's great. Because we could definitely serve all of them. That's great, but realistically, like, it would still be tied to me. So who knows whether or not that company can stand on its own. And I want it to from the get-go, so that way we don't have to worry about this when it's a bigger problem. I kind of have that mentality with a lot of things. So as of right now, this is more or less how most of the videos are still going to be. I'm saying this because I talked about making one like higher end video, and I do think I'm going to do that. However, I think I'm going to make it in such a way that these videos don't seem out of place. So I don't know how I'm going to tackle that. I don't know how I'm going to go about that. I'm hoping that it will be somewhat simple. I just don't know what it looks like yet. So we'll see. Yeah, I guess that's really just the best way to end things, is to say we'll see what happens after this video. I think I'm going to spend a lot of time on it, and it's going to be neat. So with that being said, we will see what happens.